everybody's here because we actually care about the environment we're in. And a lot of times when you think of the 7 principles of Leave No Trace, all it is baseline to remind us that if you love it to be beautiful out there and you want it to feel like it was the most pristine place and to keep it that most pristine place, that is the ideologies of the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. So a lot of times, you know, there's a lot of when you were doing a big company event like this or you're doing a big trip, you know, one of the biggest things you're doing is planning, preparing. You're being prepared. You're having all the tools you need to be successful out there and not put yourself in an emergency situation or not have the proper supplies. So that's always the first principle of Leave No Trace. The next principle that's extremely important about Leave No Trace is thinking about what we're doing with our feet, thinking about where we're setting our tent. You know, you really just want to be respectful to the land. Is the land going to recover if you put your tent right on top of those wildflowers? Or, you know, or on cryptobiotic soil if you're down in the desert. So it's that whole ideology there is just thinking about camping and hiking on durable surfaces. So number 2. When it comes to number 3, this is sometimes what we get to do on our river cleanup, but hopefully we don't get to do it, is not everybody dispose of their waste properly and picks up their garbage. So the whole pack it in, pack it out, and dispose of waste properly. So just really important when you're out there in the woods, you don't want to just knock a rock over, do your business, and push that rock back and leave behind that Charmin lily. It's extremely important that we pack out toilet paper. You know, Charmin lilies are non-native, they don't exist in this environment, and nobody likes seeing them. It just kind of changes your whole perspective of that trail that maybe you're seeing gorgeous bog orchids, or maybe you're seeing your first lady slipper ever in your life, and then to see a Charmin lily just kind of just leaves a bad taste. So just really thinking about packing in, packing out. That means every little wrapper in your pocket. You know, you have that little Starburst wrapper, you know, you need to make sure you put it in a zippered pocket. So with number 4, this one has changed a little with the Leave No Trace Center. I still like going the old way, which is minimize your fire impacts. You know, a lot of people love to build big giant fire rings in a wilderness corridor along a river corridor thinking that they're containing the fire. Well, one thing that a lot of people don't realize when you do that is you're blackening the rocks. You could be blackening and damaging the soil and some of the, you know, biotic community that lives in the microorganisms that live in that soil corridor. So, you know, what we do commercially, and actually the Park Service allows things to be rented, is you can rent a fire pan. So it's an actual metal container that you actually build a fire in up off the ground, so we don't damage the sand, we don't damage the rocks, we don't leave a fire scar behind. So, and then of course, you know, we're not burning trash in that fire. You're not burning plastics, you're not burning cans. Particularly don't burn food. A lot of people don't realize the importance of that, but if you burn food in a campfire, you a lot of times can create an attractant, and a little squirrel could come in there and start eating little things in there. Well, that little things they could eat could be a little bit of tinfoil or a little bit of plastic, and then that gets in their digestive tracts, and you know, they might not make it. It's like your dog eating a sock. Anybody that's ever dealt with that knows what I'm talking about. You know, they got to take them into the vet. Well, squirrels don't have, you know, a vet doctor that they go to. So just thinking of the big community around us. Number 5, you may remember number 5? Stop, leave what you find. That one's really important too. If anybody's ever been down to Yellowstone, they know you can find antlers everywhere. There's so many antlers down there because of the ungulate community has a very healthy ecosystem. Well, Glacier National Park, the Bob Marshall Wilderness, we do have a lot of ungulates, but a lot of our big antlers, you know, we don't see them. And that's because either people collect them, but more what happens is our weasel and some of our other small mammal communities actually eat them. They eat them for calcium. So it's really important you're hiking in the woods. If you can leave antlers where you found them, you might have just helped somebody's diet. You might have balanced their diet. And just like us taking minerals in our bodies and multivitamins, the wildlife also needs those multivitamins in there. So leave what you behind. It could be as simple as like artifacts. You might not realize that that rock that you thought was really cool and you picked up because you saw a weird little like insect in it could have been a fossil from, you know, however many thousands of years ago. So just always remember, enjoy the beauty that you saw, but take only pictures. You know, leave only footprints and take only pictures. 6 is a fun one. You kind of do the little moose antler ears. We'll do all of it together in a minute, but Respecting wildlife. You know, the big thing with respecting wildlife is our presence changing their behavior. If our presence is changing that wildlife's behavior, one, you're probably too close, and two, maybe you're doing something that's changing their behavior. Stop it, back up, and respect wildlife. With, you know, bears, mountain lions, wolverines, anything like that, you know, the general rule is a football field. It's 100 yards. 300 feet is the safe and recommended distance of respecting a bear's space. You know, smaller animals, goats, bighorn sheep, things like that, you're looking at about 100 feet. So 35 yards or so. So just remember the rule of thumb. If our presence is changing their behavior, you are too close. Back up. Once you're no longer changing that behavior, feel free to take out your camber. Feel free to enjoy the view. But keep them healthy so that they don't get habituated or conditioned by our presence. The last one is something that I regularly have to remind myself of because my voice is really loud. I'm hiking down the trail. Hey everybody, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm really loud. I'm not respecting other visitors. So be aware of your voice. Know what an inside voice sounds like. Bring it down a little, and if you're playing music on a trail, turn it off as you go past other visitors. Or if it's a really busy trail, don't play it. A lot of people are out there to listen to the wind, to listen to the birds, you know, just to take a deep breath. They have a busy life wherever they're from, and they want to be able to look around and enjoy this beauty. So the Leave No Trace Center of Outdoor Ethics out of Boulder, Colorado always has this little fun thing. And Jeff Garrison, I believe you know it. You know how to do the finger thing? Oh, come on up. This is a really fun thing to learn on the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. 1, plan and prepare like you're writing on a pencil pad. 2, you got 2 little fingers. Hike and camp on durable surfaces. 3, make your little trowel. Dispose of waste properly. 4, fire impacts. Minimize your fire impacts. 5, stop. Leave what you found. Leave it behind. 6, moose. Respect your wildlife. 7. Oh wait, sorry. Peace and wave. Respecting other visitors. So cool. I'm just gonna let people know where they're going